The CBN is still yet to give a final confirmation, especially as the red chambers have told them to account for about 3 trillion naira that is unremitted. But the question still remains, why is major government institution all seem to be enmeshed in one scandal or the other? It's a big question we'll be asking, and also asking about the need for accountability. But anyway, while you ponder that in mind, I want to quickly welcome you to another lovely time on this platform. And you do know it's Viewpoint and Atlantic TV, and also my name is Michael Gobadia.
And I am Mercy. Well, welcome to Viewpoints on Atlantic TV. You know how we do it right here on Viewpoints. We'll start with the dailies, we'll go straight into the dialogue. The news comes around, and of course, trending. And today's trending, you don't want to miss it, because we saw exchange of blows going on yesterday, right? So you don't want to miss trending today. Of course, you know you can engage with us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. We need to go on this quick break, and once we return, the dailies will be next.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Well, the dailies is what we always love to start with, right here on Viewpoint on Atlantic TV. And for review today, we still have 7 papers. We have the Leadership, the Nigerian Tribune, the Nation, Daily Trust, the Punch, the Guardian, and definitely Vanguard will make things up. But anyway, you do know I always love to start with the Punch. Let's see if the Punch has as usual, and indeed a sad narrative that played out just yesterday, wee hours of yesterday morning. Mass adoption return as 145 missing in just 4 days. And we're talking about the 25 girls that were kidnapped yesterday, and there are about 64 that was also kidnapped in Kano during the weekend. But anyway, let's see if we take right after that. Kidnapped Kebbi schoolgirls, Zamfara. Niger villages search intensifies. As Atiku PDP react, federal government pledges swift rescue. And you can rescue more of that story up on page 2 of the Punch. Let's see if we take some other major one. Obasanjo file share reignite old immunity as a trade insults. And you can get more of that story on page 30 of the Punch. PDP headquarters showdown. Makinde Wike faction hold rival neck sections today. It's a major one on page 40. Inflation hits 3-year low at 16.05%, which is a cherry one for many Nigerians on page 33. But what's also on page 33? 2024 capital project stall 2026 budget plan is a major one, and you can see the picture of the finance minister right there, and we're talking about Edu. But let's see if we take some other leading stories still on the front page of the Punch this lovely morning. We seem to have many. Lagos-bound subscription hits about 310 billion. It's a major screamer on page 34. Tension as Lagos street urchins stab Air Force officer. Wow. You can get more of that on page 4 and 5. Federal government received Benin bronze repatriated from U.S. It's another major story on page 38. But what you can get on page 21, and also the picture of the day, is Tinubu calls for corruption-free judiciary at Judges Conference. And do you know that that is an annual event? But that was held yesterday in Abuja. And you can see Mr. President with a whole lot of other judges of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Well, that's much we can take from the Punch.
Let's check out for stories making it to the headlines of the Guardian newspaper. On the Guardian this morning, the lead story, declining food prices. Firma Naira pulled inflation to 15% national target. That's a major one on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. PDP crisis may consume 2 governors, others as factions fix parallel meetings. You can read more of that on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Genocide. U.S. lawmakers alleges Tinubu lying, protecting own interest. That's a major story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Mass defections. Undume predicts implosion in APC. You can get more of that story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Let's take a look at some more leading stories still on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. Security fears deepen over schoolgirl's abduction, slain general amid new assaults. That's a very disturbing story on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Obasanjo Fayose trade words over birthday fallout. Wow, that's interesting story on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. A media wordsmith Dan Agbese dies at 81 as LNC and others mourn. You can get more of that on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. NIMC issues 124 million NINs as poor inter-agency relations stall data harmonization. That's a business story on page 15 of the Guardian newspaper. 16 Taraba PDP lawmakers join APC ahead of Kefas. You can read more of that on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper. Wike military land fields. Dauda insists on rule of law. You can read more of that on page 2 of the Guardian newspaper. Let's take a look at the picture of the day. Yeah, the picture of the day is still screaming loud. The lead story, declining food prices, firmer Naira pull inflation to 15% national target. Here we can see pictures of rice, bags of rice. We have a decline of 24%, eggs 27%. We have beans at 48%, gari, granite, and all of these things. And we can also see the inflation graph here, October 2024 until October 2025. We can see a steady dropping of inflation. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on the Guardian newspaper.
Well, the Daily Trust is the next paper for us to quickly look at. And on the Daily Trust this morning, dozens of schoolgirls adopted in Kebbi is how Daily Trust seem to put it. And you can get more of that story on page 2, 4, and 5 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Media veteran Dan Agbase dies at 81. It's also a major one on page 7. Taraba Speaker, 15 PDP lawmakers defect to the APC on account of Governor Abu Kefas, who is most likely to defect come tomorrow. Federal government inches towards inflation target is also a major one, knowing that this is the first time in 3 years that we have quite declined inflation, and indeed many Nigerians are cheering it already. But let's see if we take other leading stories still on the front page of the Daily Trust. And yes, gunmen kill brigade commander in Bronu. It's a disturbing one on page 6. Cameroon opposition candidate declares self president-elect, and who feels that issue have not ended. But we do know Paul Biya have been sworn in. But just get more of that story on page 24. 2 children die as fire got building in rivers. It's a disturbing one on page 25. Make justice affordable, accessible to poor. Tinubu tells judges. The recently held judges conference that took place yesterday in Abuja. But the picture of the day is, showing us the Government Girls Comprehensive College, Maga, Kebbi State, Nigeria, where we learned that 25 girls were adopted yesterday with their vice principal being killed on account of wanting to protect them. But anyway, the sad tale still continues. But that's much you can take from the Daily Trust.
Let's see what the Nation has for us this morning. On the Nation this morning, the lead story, Tinubu orders manhunt for abductors, rescue of 25 pupils. Vice President killed during dawn attack on Kebbi Girls School. We will bring them back, says Governor. Well, that very disturbing story is on page 2 of the Nation newspaper. Factions head for showdown at PDP Secretariat. Different camps plan meetings for national secretariat. Suraki, Wike, Anyawu, others remain expelled. You can get more of that story on page 2 of the Nation newspaper. Wike and the Rule of Law by J.B. Daudu, that's on page 11 of the Nation newspaper. A president salutes Oye Bamiji at 60, and that's on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. Tributes flow as journalism icon Agbese dies at 81. You can get more of that on page 30 of the Nation newspaper. Obasanjo Fayose back at war. You can get more of that on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. Let's take a look at some more major stories still on the front page of the Nation newspaper. A declining inflation raises hope of lower interest rates. A CPI drops to 16.05%, and you can get more of that story on page 2 of the Nation newspaper. Taraba Speaker, 16 lawmakers, ex-Kogi Governor Idris Wada defect to APC. I thought we've seen the end of all of the defections, but since we have more defections on page 4 of the Nation newspaper, let's take a look at the picture of the day. Yeah, the picture of the day, that's the group chairman, United Bank of Africa, and also founder of Tony Elumelu Foundation, Mr. Tony Elumelu, paying a visit to the president of Democratic Republic of Congo, and this is part of his African tour of 6 countries where agreements were reached on shaping Africans' future powered by collaboration, innovation, and shared prosperity. Well, that's all we can take this morning on the Nation newspaper. Let's see what we have on the Nigerian Tribune. Yeah, let's see what we have on the Nigerian Tribune. The lead story on the Nigerian Tribune this morning, 25 schoolgirls abducted in Kebbi must be rescued. Let's see, we have lots of writers to that. Police deploy a tactical team for rescue operation. ISWAP intercepts army signal, kills commander in Borno. Troops hits terrorist enclaves, quell farmer-herder clashes in northwest and north central. That's a very disturbing story on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's take a look at some more major stories still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Lagos, 200 billion naira bonds oversubscribed by 55% at 310 billion naira. 14.8 billion naira green bond attracts 29.2 billion naira or 97.7% oversubscription, and you can get more of that on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. Nigerians' inflation eases to 16.05% in October. Yeah, you can get more of that on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. Edo unveils landmark agriculture mechanization drive. Governor seeks Obaseki's repatriation to Nigeria, and you can read more of that story on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's take a look at some more major ones still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Ahead of Governor Kefa's defection, Taraba Assembly Speaker, 15 others dump PDP for APC. You can read more of that on page 16. Why Southwest must back Tinubu to win second term, and this is coming from Yoruba Group on page 15 of the Nigerian Tribune. Tinubu salutes Oyebamiji at 60, describes him as steady hand in Nigerians' financial political landscape, and more of that story is on page 28 of the Nigerian Tribune. Scientists announce game-changing vaccine for Lassa fever. You can see more of that story on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Fayose abuses Obasanjo again, accuses him of making very irresponsible comments at his birthday. Your message reveals you are unchanged and unchangeable, Obasanjo replies. More of that story is on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. PDP, despite expulsion, Wike faction summons NEC board meeting today. Turaki fixes meeting at same venue, says we are ready to lay down our lives for democracy. National Working Committee meets with FCT Police. McAfee resigns as board secretary. That very story is on page 15 of the Nigerian Tribune. And let's see what we have as the picture of the day. That's a recipient of Honorary Doctor of Science, University of Ibadan, Dr. Aigboji, AIG Imokwede, and Dr. Adeshola Adedutan during the 77th Foundation Day of the University of Ibadan. And all of this played out on Monday. Well, that's what we're taking on the Nigerian Tribune.
Well, the leadership will be the next paper for us to quickly look at. And on the leadership this morning, the leading story reads, Tinubu vows swift rescue of 25 kidnapped schoolgirls as police curb forest. Right after that, Kebbi school principal says bandits storm premises at midnight. But anyway, I'll not tell you to wait till midnight to read that story. Just read it up on page 4. And let's see if we take some other major ones. New People's Democratic Party chair, Turaki, seems to report Wike camp to police. And you can get that story on page 14. Inflation rate slows to 16.1% in October as food price hits 8-year low. And we'll say hooray. but take more of that story up on page 7. Let's see if we take some others. Fire share attacks. Obasanjo says he has dementia. Well, anyway, it's a very disturbing but quite really unnecessary story on page 4. Unresolved issues, varsity lecturers threatening fresh showdown with government is a major one on page 8. But let's see if we take some other leading stories still on the front page of the leadership. Zulam calls for military or joint military operation in Lake Chad is a push on page 7. Justice must never be for sale, presidency tells judiciary, and that is on page 16. Continental Free Trade Area, Nigeria rolls out preferential tariff. It's a major one on page 6. And Wike and Rule of Law by J.B. Daudu, SEN. You can get that on page 18 and also 20. But the major story on page 7 is media icon Dan Agbase passes on. His demise has deprived the nation of a distinct voice, says Garabashew. Death marks end of an era in journalism, David Mark. He was an exceptional editor and leader, says a former colleague at Newswatch. And you can get more of that story on page 7. And well, the picture of the day is showing him. And our heart goes out to the family. Well, he lived a great one, and more was a mentor to many, especially as it concerns the media. But anyway, that's the much you can take from leadership. Let's quickly run off to the last paper for review. And that will be the Vanguard. And on the Vanguard this morning, how bandits kidnapped 25 Kebbi school girls is a major screamer there. Let's see, just take some 2 or 3 riders. Killed vice principal in deadly attack. Police confirmed Kebbi school invasion. Adoption barbaric and condemnable, says Kebbi government. But I'll tell you to read more of that story on page 5. Let's see if we take some other leading ones. Food inflation still rising, but at slower pace. It's a major one on page 19. Pope once again escalating violence, persecution against Christians in Nigeria. As Nicki Minaj to address UN on alleged persecution of Christians in Nigeria. It's on page 8. Tinubu to judiciary, justice must never be for sale. And Akpabio Mark Shehu orders mourn as media icon Dan Agbase dies at 81 on page 7. Let's see if we take some other leading stories. Still on the front page of the Vanguard. PDP tension as factions battle for Wadata Secretariat is a major one on page 26. Eric Chehil accuses Democratic Republic of Congo of using voodoo. Is a major one on page 32. Now we know why we lost, but where our prayer warriors. Anyway, tension in Enugu community as Governor Mba Kinsmen protests alleged military invasion is on page 8. And Taraba Speaker, 15 other PDP Assembly members defect to the APC. That story can get on page 13. But the picture of the day is a visit of the Duke of Edinburgh as he visits President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. All of that played out yesterday. And you do know that Nigeria is still a rallying point as it concerns African push for respect and also for acknowledgement. But that's the much you can take from the Vanguard, and indeed all papers we have reviewed today, 7 in all. We always implore you that if you find any truly enjoyable and you want to read, well, do grab a copy of them and ensure that you read and get more information all embedded in the papers. But you do know we need to go on that break now, but when we come back, dialogue will take center stage. And today, well, we might just be talking about what we need to do to seek for accountability, especially as it concerns some government institutions. Let's go on the break.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst, one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Osh, baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor Adi.
Girl Ninyola.
My name is my wife, not just celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
The future of the worry child is bold, bright, and limitless. Gone are those days where being from worry means that you are underestimated or being put in a box. Today, the worry child is breaking boundaries in education, innovation, and all things that they set their minds to. We are gathered right here live at the Brown Hill Coliseum in Warri, Delta State for the future of the worry child, a one-day seminar put together for secondary school students in Warri, Delta State, and its aim is to reshape and of course to remind these children that their dreams are valid and they can be anything that they want to be. We will be reshaping destinies and of course putting in the minds of these children that yes, greatness lies within them. The theme for this year is a very powerful one, Beyond Limits, Unlocking the Potential of the Worry Child. Now, this is not just another seminar, this is a movement, one that brings to the knowledge that every child has greatness inside of them. My name is NK and I'll be holding it down right here on the red carpet for Atlantic Media and TV, where we'll be having our special guests and of course we'll be having conversations with our speakers, distinguished guests, and of course our students who are here and ready to learn, to get inspired, and of course to go home with so much enlightenment. Join me on the red carpet as I interview great men and women who will be coming here today to experience this great history in the making.
The future of the worry child is in your mouth. And as long as they can't steal your voice, they cannot steal your future. God bless you all. God bless Ogiame Atuashe III. God bless the children of this great land. God bless Nigeria.
Child can do anything possible because we believe first God made them, and if God made them, God actually made them without limit. So we are trying to sell that dream back to them, no matter what they've been taught, no matter what they've been told, that the worry child is going beyond limit.
To unlock children's potential, it starts with you as a parent.
What we are here to do is to also put them in the direction of, as you are working, also get yourself checked.
Going beyond the limits, beyond unlocking your potential, knowing your place, owning your story, finding the obstacles, identifying them, leaning into the lessons that life throws at you. So generally speaking, it's all about honing yourself and looking around you to solve problems. When you are a problem solver, you will always have value.
I'm a product of worry, so today I am that future standing here, and for that reason I have no doubt the people that will come after us will do greater things.
I feel so amazed by everything that has been going on today. I am truly touched and I'm truly enlightened today.
I feel very nervous coming here, but meeting new people and seeing that, oh, like there are lots of opportunities. Thank you most for the opportunity that have given to us, the future of the worry child.
Future of the worry child is me. Thanks to the Chroma Care Foundation.
When the lights go out, who do you call? Ticado! Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Ticado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Ticado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace.
Let's see how you're gonna rap now. His name is Jay. Everybody say Jay. In 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yo, let's go. Let's move it on. Say, let's go. Oh, let's move it on. Can I say, oh, we wanna party. Move it on. Oh, we wanna party. Come on, stand up. Oh, we wanna party. Oh yeah. Oh, we wanna party. We are here at the show. Chilling really nice. Oh, you all looking good. Thank you for the compliment, bro. You are looking very nice. Oh, look at her now. She's looking good. She's looking fresh. Look at her swag. It's looking kind of nice. Oh, give it up for her. Give it up for her.
In 5 and 4 and 3, 2, 1, go.
My God, he did for me. It's too short for me. Oh, I to be my loving daddy. It run out for me. Way out for day if you not be saying now because of you I shine today. Your love will bust my brain. I go follow you every night today. Your love will cover me. Say blessing they follow me. Now you way hold my destiny. No they fear anything no. So, put your couple in. Find Jesus, join your papa. Find Jesus, join your papa. Find Jesus, join your papa. Say, according to your knowledge and your will for me, what you say is you. I don't need to because you are not a man that those that knows you would trust in you. Not the nonsense, no chariots. By the power of flesh, no man can prevail.
DJ Emmy.
Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
And 3, 2, 1, come on, Brian.
I was in a plane going to Spain. It's the plantain when the policeman came. He searched my pocket and he saw cocaine. He took me to the station and I can't explain. He gave me 12 o'clock and my head maintained. The liar, go to fire, he will flog you with a wire. As Jeremiah in the book of Zechariah. Today Allah say, don't eat gala. Tomorrow na salad. Pray to God, make your soup not sour.
Pray to God in 5 and 4 and 3, 2, 1. Come on, the line.
Paste me your location. This your bag. If you put me for attention, as it got pleasure, then I feel get some motivating your body, not temptation. Cause it's time I feel give you my gesture. Mondo to be most of that body was shame. Me will be with it. Oh, yeah, go. She know the sister, I just do it. Then talk say, not be me, be a shy, I'm okay now. You go tell me now, oh, now. Make humility, not go tell me, malu. Because if I talk one, they go like swallow me, eh. Share one good, share one bad, share one real, share one fake. Me, I don't do again. See wins are the one shalom.
All right, T for Treasure, let's go.
Hey,
Hey, my name na Treasure. I go put you on pressure. I dey drive Cyber truck. Don't be anything on pleasure. Ground full force full ground. We dey see and they go any year it go better. All of una fine, see us all of una fresh. I dey blush all of una nothing contest. You see us I fine, I be fine boy like this. They call me Black Hip Hop, I dey rush off una beats. 12 midnight, we know they drive alone. Any year I turn the phone out with the drive and they go. With the mash and they go. They mash and they go. Rev and they mash and they go.
They go.
You all know me very well. I'm not here to tell you about myself. I'm here to sing about it to the world. You all know me very well. I'm not gonna tell you about myself. I'm trying to sing about the world. Yeah. Once upon a time, yeah, me I was broke. No money, everywhere they shook. Can't entertain my visitors with coke. People come to my house, I can't give them any coke. Yo, I never told me and I'm
Nice one.
Can I hear your voice? Can I hear your voice? Another yauna. Say. DJ on the beat. Yo, baby Georgia is my name. Rock out my only game. My body's when I get it and I spit it in your face. I'm never not make music cause I'm business in my vein. I'm an outgoing Papioli. Actually, all the trust. Say, Ebrumede. Say, yeah, Vanna where the paradox come. Vanna where the paradox come. Vanna where the paradox come. Nana where the paradox come. Nana where the paradox show. Aya, talk to me. Bust my head. He dey enter.
The social accountability or rather the Socio-Economic Right and Accountability Project, SERAP, has issued a 7 days ultimatum to no other person but Olayemi Cardoso, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, or to demand an explanation for what it termed the missing or divided and diverted 3 trillion naira. In a suit that it said it would definitely institute if the CBN governor does not give account of their money. The organization urged Cardoso to identify those responsible for the alleged diversion and to turn them over to the Independent Corrupt Practice and Other Related Offences Commission and the Economic and Financial Crime Commission. Additionally, they called for the recovery of all recovered funds in a letter dated 15th day of November and signed by the Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare. SELAB emphasized that the findings of the Auditor General suggest that grave violations of public trust, the provisions of the Nigerian Constitution of 1999 as amended, and the CBN Act and also the anti-corruption standard were all being kicked against. The group also confirmed that these allegations were indeed grave to public trust. The organization reminded the CBN of a constitutional obligation and insisted that Nigerians have to, or rather have the right to know the whereabouts of the public funds. Serap said it will take legal action if the bank fails to respond within 7 days of this very notice. This latest move by Serap reflects Nigerians' growing impatience of government institutions not accountable to the people and immersed in deep corruption, which many have blamed for the underdevelopment of the country, and a need for us to talk about it on the show today. And that's what we're talking about, accountability in government institutions. That's what we're having as a major discourse today on the show. We're talking about accountability in government institutions. Well, anyway, to help us talk about this is no other person but the political analyst and also the chairperson of the Poker Healthcare Foundation that's located right here in Delta State. And I'm talking of no other person, but he said I shouldn't call him comrade, so I'll call him Mr. Austin Owuseva. But in every way, he's also a comrade. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning, Michael, thank you for having me this morning.
Yes, now according to our findings on Dialogue, this very revelation was revealed, that should be September 9th to be precise. That's when we first got wind of this missing 3 trillion naira. And we do know that as it stands, the country is losing 3 trillion, but we are in debt of almost 154 trillion. So many are really wondering, does this make any sense? But my question, when you first had the reaction of this 3 trillion naira, what came to your mind?
Michael, in Nigeria, the volume of amounts you hear, they are quite mind-boggling, shocking, when you hear amounts of money involving corrupt practices. You understand? So you begin to wonder, are the people stealing this money? Are they sane? Are they sane at all? Because it's frightening when you hear the huge amount of money being stolen from our client. It's so frightening. So we'll give it to Serap. Okay. Serap have been doing a lot in trying to hold government accountable, our government. And when you read on the news that 3 trillion naira is not being remitted to Federation account. And it takes an NGO, a non-governmental organization, to start dragging the government.
To do the needful.
To do the needful. That's why I said it's mind-boggling, it's shocking. The huge amount of money that we discuss on our television. And you find out that the Commander-in-Chief is going to the Senate to request approval for external borrowing, even internal borrowing. So, like I said, it's quite frightening.
Well, anyway, as much as you are saying it doesn't make sense to a normal mind to think, I feel it's also right for us to make sense about this in giving you a breakdown of how this 3 trillion is, so you get a sense of the money that is missing. Now, let's give a breakdown or summary of the report coming from the Auditor General that he released, that he released on the 9th of September that we got wind of. Now, the money is, number one, the non-remittance of over 1.4 trillion in operational surplus from the CBN. They failed to remit that money. It was operational surplus. It was more. But up to now, nobody knows where that 1.4 trillion went to. Vanished. Not only that, failure to recover 629 billion paid to unknown beneficiaries on account of the Anchor Borrower Program. And the non-recovery of about 784 billion in overdue intervention loan. Now, looking at the CBN Act, this contravenes it in every way. And we have both, my question now is, we have both executive and legislative body that does oversight function on this very institution. So my question now is, Do you feel why? Because you said it's mind-blowing. It doesn't make any sense when we look at this money being stolen. But do you feel it's a failure on the part of government institutions, both the executive and the legislative arm? That is why we're having huge amount being stolen on account of government institutions. This is coming from the CBN. Just recently, the Red Chambers told the Nigerian NNPCL to count for about 2.10 trillion, which is also a staggering amount. But let's leave the NNPCL for now and remain with the CBN. Is it a failure on the part of government, both executive and legislative?
Michael, I would really say it's a failure on the part of our government.
Okay.
Because today, we are in the era of technology.
Okay.
And you see, when you put the technological tools into play, particularly as it relates to finance, money being transferred from one point to another point is traceable.
Yes, yes.
So coming to say, like what they are saying, that unidentified individuals, it doesn't make sense in any way.
Because they transfer this money.
They transfer this money from point A to point B. This is the era where we have what do you call it, BVN.
Yes.
Tied to our
NIN.
So before money is being transferred from point A to point B, do these people have BVN or NIN? It's a question that we ought to raise on the part of our government or maybe the National Assembly who are doing oversight on the CBN. Mind you, Mike, we also have the TSA
Treasury Single
Account. So money don't walk through the air. It passes through one institution to another banking institution where records are being kept. This is not the time that we operate in a manual system. We're no longer using notebook or files. We take records in our banks. For example, if you open an account, they will ask you to bring all form of identification, your what do you call it, former NEPA bills, NEPA bill. They will capture you, fingerprints and all what's not. So how come somebody will now come to explain to us that the money is not being traced? Today, I used to, in our NGO Delta group, the Delta State NGO, where I'm trying to forget the name, but the name is there, I will recall it. There's what we used to call follow the money. Follow the money. Money enter bank A, left to bank B, transfer to bank X or C, or whatever way you want to call it. It is traceable from where it originates from and how
it gets or where it finally goes.
Where it finally goes to. So anybody coming to say that on identified individuals, it's just a joke. It's not real. Because monies are traceable.
And funny enough, this is our #1 banking institution.
Yes.
That deals with the issue of credibility, deals with the issue of financial regulation, deals with the issue of records, and yet
it's an embarrassment to a nation when our CBN, the central bank, comes to say money that were transferred were not traceable, documented. It's an embarrassment internationally. It's not done, it's not hard. Because even money that were diverted from our shores, our country to foreign countries are traceable. They trace money in the Swiss. They trace money in the US. We have heard of Abacha loots and some other loots that they were traceable. So nobody can tell us in our internal system here in Nigeria,
we cannot
trace fund. That's a huge joke. It's not acceptable.
Well, anyways, it might sound laughable, but it goes to show how really serious the issue we are discussing about is. Like I said, all of this came to light when the Auditor General of the Federation did an audit of the CBN account and discovered that about 3 trillion is unaccounted for and indeed raise the red flag that is bringing this discussion, and SERAP going to court to ensure that the CBN does the needful. But anyway, let's still remain with the needful, because it's still, as much as that baffles you, another major money that's also a part of this 3 trillion naira is the issue of the Anchors Borrowers Fund. Yes, that they said it's untraceable,
Yes.
but I still want to remain with that, because this Anchor Borrower money was meant to deal with the issue of hunger, especially as it concerns farmers.
Yeah.
You agree with me that for the past 2 or more years, the present inflation, undermining, we just had a reduction in inflation just come yesterday with what he said. But for the past 2 years, consecutively, food inflation has been the main driver of the main inflation in the country.
Yep.
And you will agree with me that in recent time, Nigerians have become more hungry than they have ever been on account of food prices, on account of not having enough. But now, my question is, do you see complicity? Because if this money were given to people that are accounted for, it's obvious they were not given to farmers, which the money was meant for. So will you say there's deep complicity in government institutions not doing the needful, hence putting us on pressure when it comes to the issue of school food insecurity?
Mike, when we talk about complicity,
yes,
particularly as related to government agencies interacting with
yes.
organizations and farmers,
yeah.
You know, we are all Nigerians. Our system is very funny.
Okay.
When I mean funny, in the sense that maybe a government agent, you are saddled with the task of handling a particular government project.
Yes.
We have seen most Nigerians giving money to their cronies, not meant to the people it was meant to be given to, particularly as it relates to farmers, because we're talking about the farmers vis-a-vis food insecurity and as it affects as inflation of food inflation.
Yeah.
So their lack of transparency.
Lack of transparency.
Yes. And you know, when we really talk about this accountability, one, citizens must be involved, must participate.
Most certainly.
You understand? I recall sometimes in 2018, we were at United Nations.
Okay.
Poverty eradication.
Yeah.
We call it, it was a CSW 65 at the United Nations.
Okay.
On a side event,
okay,
organized by the Nigerian network of NGOs,
okay,
which we participated
okay,
at United in New York.
Yes.
You see that our emphasis was how to hold public officers accountable. How to hold public officers accountable. And for us to hold public officers accountable, we must also, as in Nigerians, participate in the process.
Okay.
Starting from our elections.
Okay.
Because if somebody buy your vote, you don't have a conscience to ask questions. But when you vote aright for a candidate that you know that this person have gone through their manifestos, and I found out that they can represent us, and you vote right, you can therefore, in clear conscience, ask questions. How we are being governed. Now, coming back to your question, you see, because there is no accountability, that's where we have issues of remitting money to those that we cannot account for. Mike?
So it looks as if we already sold our birthright.
We are birthright. Me and you here, let's go to any of our commercial banks and you're asking for a loan to do business. They will ask you for all manners of documentation. So if a government agency is given or is saddled with a responsibility to give out money to farmers, and somebody is saying the money did not get to the farmers, then there is a problem. Who is holding such organizations accountable? Let us not even say we are going to the AFCC or ICPC.
Okay, anti-graft.
They don't go to the anti-graft agencies. What is our National Assembly doing? Who have oversight functions to ensure that such programs are properly run.
That they were budgeted for, and the funds were being
released. You understand? The funds are being diverted elsewhere. Not meant for what they were supposed to be used for.
And funny enough, they will now come the next year to request for monies in the budget, and yet nobody is asking them what the previous one was used for.
That is the problem we have. That is the accountability we are talking about, because every one of us must participate. We must ask questions. It is not a time we must raise this conversation. I thank God that you are bringing it up in your... We must raise this conversation across board. From our local government to our state to the federal level. This is a conversation that Nigerians must participate in. It's not a conversation it's not an I don't care attitude. We must participate because, but again, Michael, like what you just mentioned that to some extent the inflation rate is stabilizing.
This is the first time we're having in 8 years 16.01%. Yeah,
I must give it to the present administration at the federal level. You see, recently I went on a market survey.
Okay.
And I find out that prices, the numbers are coming down.
Yes.
But as regards to foodstuffs and all that.
Rice, beans, garlic.
I was wondering, even this period that is getting to the
Ember
on the Christmas period. You know, normally prices were supposed to be
going up.
But so by surprise, prices were
coming down.
And you see, so to some extent, we give that to
kudos to them.
Kudos to the government, but they must be held accountable.
Now, talking about accountability, because I want us to still remain here. Now, there's this question that ponders on every Nigerian's mind.
Yeah.
And let me still remain with the report. 1.4 trillion, not billion.
It's a huge amount of money.
Missing on account of operational surplus. That means what it means is they went to the National Assembly, got approval for monies. Yeah, they were given, but in between the line, it was a bit surplus. They did not use 1.4 trillion, which normally would, like you said, have gone to the Treasury single account, as in being surplus.
Yeah.
But that money disappeared without a trace. Now, my question is, I know I'm going to speak the mind of many Nigerians. Why is it so easy to steal from the government purse? Why is it so easy? We've had billions, trillions missing from the government purse. This is a general purse. This is a purse that has every institution watchguarding it, safeguarding it. But yet it's so easy to steal from. In your own assessment, why is that so?
Michael, you see, money cannot just go missing. From budgetary time to expenditure to procurement and
to execution
to allocation, money cannot go missing. There are records. It's just that the people who are saddled with the responsibility to oversight on such funds are not doing their job, or they are compromising.
So money does not miss.
Money cannot. I told you, there was a Delta State network of NGOs. There's what we call follow the money. Michael, you deposit money into Bank A, and money was released to an organization. For God's sake, how can that money get missing? Can be said to be getting missing. Money is deposited into Bank A. Even in our local system, if you say you transfer money to Mr. B, and Mr. B say he didn't see the money, there's what we say, go and print your statement of account
to trace it.
To trace where the
It
money
went to.
went to.
When he went to.
When he
how
went
he
to.
got there. When was the time?
There are
I don't know.
records, time and date. Everything is clearly spelled out in our banking institution. So somebody coming to tell us that money went missing is a joke. It means they're taking us for granted. They feel that we're not intelligent.
So why is it always the government purse? Why is it so easy that the government purse is where everybody dips hand into and drags from?
Michael, I'm telling you that, you know, we have had stories where they say snake swallowed money in Nigeria.
We're still looking for the snake.
The snake.
Yeah,
we have had money where somebody said it does not have how to explain it, other than to say snake swallowed the money. Monkey swallowed the money. In Nigeria. You understand? Where today, with technology, you can trace money to any place, any part of the world. This is not a time where monies are carried via. In fact, if you can recall, recently we don't see bullion vans carrying money the way they used to carry money again, because money can be transferred electronically and all that. And if not for the fact that we have not put some of our banking instruments into play, there is no need to carry cash. What are you carrying cash for? I met somebody in the UK. When the person saw £50 note, he said, since she was born, she has not seen £50 note.
And they're in the UK?
In the UK, because there was no need to carry cash. What are you carrying cash for? When you have your card, you have, if you want to go, you have cards for transportation and all that. So, when we come to the Nigerian state and somebody say money is missing, is an abuse on our sensibility, on our person. It is not acceptable. It can never be accepted. Money transferred from central bank to a ministry or MDA, an MDA account. From the MDA account, we now know that 1 million or 1 trillion was transferred from the CBN to a particular MDA, saddled with the responsibility to disburse money to farmers. And before we disburse, before we even give money or even say we want to give money, we ask people to come with all manner of credentials, informations. You understand? So I have also participated in some government organizations. I participated in trying to say, I've submitted informations to, what do you call it, the Bank of Industry.
Yes.
The Bank of Industry. The level of documentation, scrutiny for you to participate, to be eligible to be given funds. Because it is spelled out what are the eligibility criteria to give out funds.
But yet they say they don't know who these persons are.
No, that's a lie. That's what I'm saying is a lie. It's not right. It's not accepted. Because me, as an individual, as a Nigerian, I've applied to Bank of Industry for funds. And I know the manner of documents I presented. I wasn't given anyway. You understand? But I know the manner of documents that were presented. So somebody coming to tell us that the borrower's money is missing, went missing, or the people are not identified. That is a joke of the 21st century.
Okay, let's leave the funny part of it.
Yes.
Because you called it a joke, and the only way we can do is laugh about it. Because if we put it in our hearts, it will bring nothing but pain to Nigerians. Now, let's leave that apart and come to the issue of monies that normally would have gone for development, being swindled away. Now, as it stands, Nigerian poverty rate is put about 61%, which translates to about 139 people are multidimensionally poor in Nigeria. 61% of all Nigerians are poor.
No, you get it. I read of recent where on a research that was carried out.
Yeah.
You understand? And they are saying that about 92 point something Nigerians don't have up to 500,000 in their accounts.
Which is true.
92.7 or thereabout
percent
of Nigerians don't have 500,000 in their account. So you now see that is either you are very rich or you are poor.
Nothing like in between.
There's no middle class.
So that's where my question lies. Do you see all this money, this stolen money has risen, the middle class has been eroded? Do you see it why there is this great divide between the rich and the poor?
You see, when we come to middle class, the rich, the poor, these categories, you see every sensible government, functional government, there used to be a time when we were growing up, Michael. The Telzai mills were working in Kaduna. I think Michelin and Dunlop, all those, they were producing in Nigeria.
Rubber, tires.
People were working. We have vehicle assembly plants,
Pan
in Nigeria. There was this, I think people producing shoes and all that. Bata. They were producing in Nigeria.
Quality shoes.
Quality shoes.
Being exported to other
countries. It therefore means when these things were happening, these industries were thriving, you know, those that were working in these places, we tend them to be middle class because they earn, they take care of their children, they can pay their fees, and they are paid promptly. When these people started closing shop in Nigeria, that was where
the middle class
major problems started coming, and it eroded the middle class. In our own Delta State here, we had the Delta State Company. You understand? Working in Delta State. When Delta State Company was working, if you go to their estate, you see that it was lively. All that has gone down. Every sensible government doesn't allow industries, big organizations to go down the drain. You've put every effort to ensure that they remain. You understand? Issue of come back to accountability. Because when government release some funds for these organizations, Nigerians will loot this money. Coming back to your question, Nigerians will loot this money, you understand, and take them to where they like, wherever they want. So you find out that this system gradually, with time, eroded the middle class. And all these things caught up with us. Because if these businesses are not thriving, there's a problem. These are the problems Nigeria we are facing now. Again, you know, there have been some legislations, about the local content. Let us produce Nigeria. Let us do business, do the Nigerian thing. The government is trying on that aspect. You understand? The local content. Because Nigerians are hard-working persons. You understand? All they need is encouragement. This same accountability, like I would always say, if a bank gives you a loan to do business, have the mindset of repayment. You understand? Even if government gives you a facility to do business, there must be the mindset
of returning back.
Then, as a government, when our local contractors do business with our government and they are not paid, you are putting a wedge in between the middle class and the upper class, because these people that are doing business, most of them are middle class, and they have done job for the government. Government is not paying them. How do you expect them? And most of them borrow from banks. Mind you,
to facilitate.
I won't want to mention some government agencies. If you go to some banks with their letter of award that you want to take loan, the banks will not give you money.
That bad?
That's so bad. Most banks don't even want to fund government projects because our government don't pay. It's a slogan, government doesn't pay. How can we thrive in such a system? You understand? How can we thrive in such a system?
And yet we are still talking about accountability.
We're talking about accountability. So the government itself must be held accountable. Citizens must participate. The mindset that I don't care, my vote don't count, I don't want to be part of it. Because, Michael, sometimes we have discussed about voters' apathy. What is causing it is that recently, when you take the percentage of statistics of people that participated in the Anambra election, a lot of persons didn't come out.
That empathy.
A lot of people didn't come out. Why did they not come out? They feel their votes are not counted. They feel unconcerned. But no, accountability starts from that process.
So it has to start with us.
It has to start with us.
Before it now translates to the government. And
every sphere of the government
must now follow.
Must now follow. From our budgeting cycle to when we execute our budgets, when we procure, when we pay. These are processes that must be strictly monitored, followed.
Okay, now, as much as you've talked about that's the way out, I want us to also talk about the issue of persecution. Now, we've had countless cases, just like this one I mentioned now. The CBN is not only the one facing or having a torchlight centered on its activities. The NNPCL is a major critical government institution that has always been immersed in one form of corruption scandal or the other. Yeah, we know the CBN is also having its own share fare with even the former CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, still facing corruption,
huge amount of money,
huge corruption cases, with him having almost 700 and something houses in an estate, all of that. Let's leave that mind-blowing revelation, but come to the issue now. Do you see a lack of persecution on the part of government? That's why we're having an uptick or an increase in the amount of corruption cases in most of our institutions. Do you feel nobody has been held accountable? Yes, we know the CBN present governor is going through, the former governor rather, is going through all of that. But do you feel our lack of persecution of these persons, that's why this whole problem is still continuing? No sincerity on the part of government as concerns persecution.
You see, most times regarding persecution, I've once said here that our institutions are very weak.
Okay.
We have stronger individuals
than stronger institutions.
Than stronger institutions. I think I was watching on television the president in the judges' conference that was held in Abuja yesterday.
Yes.
The president agreed that the judicial system is compromised.
Okay.
The president, in his statement, admitted that the judicial system is compromised, but we can improve on it. So, when you mention persecution, there are institutions that are there to handle, saddled with responsibility to handle this. But we have one Nigerian slogan or a mentality that if you are in the ruling party, you are kind of exempted, shielded from persecution. How does that help us? When persecution tends to be tilted towards those that are in the opposition. Selective. You understand? So that's a major problem. That's a major problem. Then, starting from our police officers, our judicial officers, they are not adequately remunerated.
Yes.
Mind you, you see, when you see policemen in certain crimes, you cannot want to approach a policeman to bribe him. or a judicial officer to bribe because they are well cared for and they are loyal to the constitution.
That is paying them.
You understand what I'm saying? Their loyalty is to the constitution. It's not to an individual. It's not to a political party. Yeah. You understand the kind of problem we are facing. So when you are in an opposition and you voice your complaint about the present government, you are targeted for prosecution. So a lot of Nigerians are scared to come out. You understand? So even if you write a petition, are you sure it's going to be treated? It's going to be followed up. So a lot of persons in Nigeria are kind of bottled up because they're not being able to express themselves. Even the media. Yeah. That is the fourth realm of the estate. Yeah. There's obviously a watchdog. Yeah. Of everybody. Whole government. It's one of the major sector that holds the government to accountability. You understand? Sometimes when the media asks questions, you see, we've seen in Nigeria where media houses are burnt down, locked up, newsmen are arrested, and all that. You understand? So we used to have some very strong, vibrant media personnel. We just, I think I read one of them, Ganagbese, may so rest in peace. 81 just passed on. You understand? It was a very vibrant media personnel. We have had some that had head government. They had the guts to come out and stand and speak out, holding government accountable. So, Michael, when we talk about persecution, we have the way it is. The Nigerian persecution system, the Nigerian system is different from the norms, how it ought to be.
So on that account, we cannot use that as a watchdog to deal with the issue of corruption.
No. You can't deal with the issue of corruption in that manner. We have to enact laws. That is the role of a National Assembly.
But do you feel it's an issue of enacting laws? Do you feel it's an issue of policy or rather implementation? Because many people will argue, we have a whole lot. Like, for example, you're talking about the journalists. We have the Freedom of Information Act 2011.
Yeah.
Up till now, you go to some certain ministries, some documentation, and they are not being released to you. They'll tell you, sorry, you need to follow this channel. And when you go round and round and round, you finally get the message.
You see, Michael, our system is a very funny system. When an officer, government officer, you want information from him or her, and they request a kickback. If you don't do that, you don't get it. And in some organizations in Nigeria, giving kickback have become a norm.
So if you don't do, it looks as if you don't know what to do.
You don't know what's happening. It seems you are from the space. You understand? So with this kind of mindset, with this mindset, you find out that the system begins to crawl because the institutions are not strong. Just recently, I was reading on newspaper, on those states or thereabout, the Association of Magistrates, they were complaining that they don't have vehicles to go to court. Imagine a situation where a magistrate will enter keke or okada to the court, and then after court, you are joining vehicle with litigants. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, forgive me for laughing, but it's funny.
You know, in your Delta state here, we have courts in shrine. We have courts in community halls. How can we adjudicate? You understand what I'm saying? So the issue of the Nigerian issue, the Nigerian accountability issue of holding government accountable in Nigeria become frustrating.
Frustrating.
Yes. And mind you, most of the government officers are enjoying it because they have ways to meander around it. They are not being held accountable. It's just a Nigerian thing. We will do this, and everything.
So in your own assessment, because time is not a friend, we're really out of time. What should be done? Well, we're talking about accountability.
We must strengthen institutions.
We must strengthen our institutions.
Yes. Then the Nigerian man, we as citizens, we must participate in this process, starting from our electoral processes. We must strengthen institutions. We must adequately remunerate our workers, our officers who are in the justice system. So a man that is hungry doesn't have a voice. A man that is hungry, and there's a 500,000 here, and a man is hungry. Answer the question yourself, Michael.
Well, anyway, that answer will come not now, but well, anyway, I'm the one asking the questions here, though.
Yeah, you're asking the question.
But I understand what you mean.
Sometimes we have to pose it back to you so you see and you know how we feel. You understand? The issue of accountability even starts from our homes. From our homes. We must hold ourselves, personal selves, accountable. Train our children how to be accountable. It must be put in our curriculum.
Our DNA.
In our curriculum, so it now begins to go into the DNA. So that you now know, you can ask questions. Sometimes, when children ask questions, I don't silence them. Hear them out. Give them answers. Because they see us. The parents, they see what is happening in society. So when we train them aright, it in turns benefits society. So there's a long way to go, but like the president said yesterday, it can be done.
So you have high hopes that it can be done?
Of course, it can be done. You see, the present government, they are putting a lot of things in place. Okay. You understand? The present government, the president is always telling us that the reforms
will start to bear fruits.
Bear fruits. And, just recently, in my mind, like I told you, I went for a market survey. Because we're getting to the Christmas period. So you need to plan. So in my market survey, I was there. The president, the reforms are kind of having some effect.
I think it's something that we see
and feel. It's having some effects on the economy. The market woman, somebody was telling me that the price of rice is coming down.
Yes, it is.
Price of flowers,
Gary is coming down.
The Gary as it is. Somebody was telling me that a basket of Gary has come down from about 4,000 to 1,500.
Yeah.
You understand? So, to some extent, our people can afford
the basics.
And so it shows that the reforms have been, and if you find out that the dollar has been coming down instead of going up. You understand? So, to some extent, the reforms are having effect on.
So we should still have hope and patience. That's what you're saying.
We must have. What do? We must have hope. There's nothing else you can do than to have hope.
Well, anyway, I hope Nigerians do have that hope.
We must have hope.
And I hope they have the patience.
See, Michael, we must have hope. It's only hope that can keep you alive. The moment you lose hope, you're gone. You understand? So, a lot of things have to be put in place. You see, in as much as we give it to the president, to the present administration, so there are some areas they have also failed us. You understand?
That they need more to do.
They need more to do. On our roads, they have to pay attention. Roads, insecurity, our rail system, they are not functioning. So, there should be a time in Nigeria where you can travel from, let's say from my state, Warrior, to Kaduna, Kanu. You are safe. You mingle with people freely. It's no longer the same. So it's so bad for us.
Well, anyways, I don't know if we continue talking, we are ready to talk all
the whole
day, because the discussion is interesting,
Yeah.
and the answers are, forgive me, but very direct and honest, and that's why we always appreciate you.
Thank
I'm
you.
talking of no other person, but I'd rather, if he doesn't want, I'll talk of comrade Austin whosoever.
It's a shame that those ones used to be in the trade unions that they call comrades. I've not been in any of the trade unions.
A political analyst,
Yeah.
and the chairperson of Poker Healthcare Foundation.
I'm not comfortable with that.
Okay.
When you call me a comrade, I'm not going to any trade association.
Okay, let me return to Mr. Austin Wuseva. JP, yes, Justice of Peace.
Yes.
Like I said, he's indeed a political analyst and also the chairperson of Poker Health Foundation. And you do know that is located right here in Delta State. And we really need to thank you so much for taking your time and doing real justice to the issue of accountability.
Thank you so
as
much.
government and government institutions and what they need to do. We really want to say thank you so much, and we are really appreciative of your time with us. But you do know, like I will also insist, the conversation does not end here. Let's have your reactions, comment, share, and like. And indeed, give us comment on what you feel, or give us your reaction as it concerns accountability of government institutions, knowing that many of them are enmeshed in a whole lot of scandalous dealings, especially of money being unaccounted for, many funds. Like we said, that of the CBN is about 3 trillion, which SERAP, the Social Economic and Accountability Right Project, has said they are going to take them to court. And we also do know that the Red Chamber is still waiting for the NNPCL to account for about 210 trillion that they say is missing. And that investigation started from 2017 to also 2023. But anyway, on that note, we've come to the end of this awesome edition of Dialogue. We'll tell you to still remain with Atlantic TV because the news will come up and definitely trending will follow. But for me, Michael Gobadia, God willing, we'll see you later. Bye for now.
When the lights go out, who do you call? Ticado! Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Ticado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Ticado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace.
Thank you very much for having me. I must say that today has been a very wonderful day. So I want us to just celebrate the leadership of Coral Care Foundation and the executives and everyone that has put in one effort or the other to make this a success. All right, like they've rightly said, this afternoon I'm not going to be talking for too long, but everything I say will boil down to one quote. So I want us to listen and please try to follow. I know you've been here since morning and most of the students are tired. But I was really excited when I came in and then I saw a lot of students and then some of them came out here and were talking about their dreams and what they want to become. That was really, really exciting for me. And this is why. All right, so I'll just give you the quote and then I'll go from there. Is that okay, everybody? All right, so please listen. All right, so this is a quote. It is actually very simple. It says, where the mind goes, the man follows. Where the mind goes, the man follows. Where the mind goes, the man follows. Over 20 years ago, I heard somebody talk about this. I heard somebody make these quotes, and that changed my life forever. And this was how. When I was a kid, there was a particular day we just gathered in the house, and I think some people came over to visit my parents. And while they were there, they began to ask questions. So my two elder brothers and then myself and a few other people came together, and they were like, okay, what do you want to become? My elder brother said engineer, and they were like, oh, wow, that's great. And they asked someone else, what do you want to become? My younger sister said she wants to become a lawyer. Wonderful. So they asked me, what do you want to become? I thought about it. As at this particular point in time, I think I was probably like age 7 or thereabouts. So I thought about it and I said, I want to become a medical doctor. And my elder brother, as at this point, was in secondary school. And he laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. And everybody started laughing as well. So me, small boy now, I called the one that say, what's happened? Why did they laugh? So while they were laughing, he now stopped and said, he said, do you know what it takes to become a medical doctor? He said, I know some people in my school. He was speaking now. Their elder brothers, they're in medical school. While they were in medical school, they read and read and read, and some of them went mad. People began to lose their mind, and he was giving all different instances and everything. He was just talking. So while he was talking and saying all of that, I waited and he finished talking. When he finished talking, I said, I have a question. Remember, as at this particular point in time, I was about 7 years old. So I said, I have a question. And they said, what's your question? I said, currently in this country, is there anyone that have succeeded to become a medical doctor? And they said, yes. Then I said, if someone at some point was able to become a medical doctor, I will become a medical doctor. That was what I told them. As at this particular point in time, age 7. Now, I did not understand what I was saying, but there was something in me as a worry pikin that we've heard today over and over again, and that is there is a form of resilience in the inside of us. Do you understand what I'm saying? Worry pikin, worry children, a worry child has this resilience, this mindset that no matter what happens, I can do it. So at that age, I did not even understand, but there was something in the inside of me that kept on telling me, you can do it. And because I was thinking like that, today I am a medical doctor. But then, that's not the whole story. Listen. Remember what I said from the beginning. Where the mind goes, the man follows. So because my mind kept on going there, my mind kept on going in that direction. My mind went in that direction so much so that I had this passion and this compassion for sick people. As a matter of fact, again one day, I do something for hours, they beat me, as in they beat me well. Let me tell you the story. I was in the kitchen, and at night, while I was in the kitchen at night, I saw somebody outside the window. A man was running around in our compound, and I could see that he was bleeding. So when I saw that, I think as at this point, I was probably like age 13, or probably less than that. So I saw him, he was bleeding in the middle of the night. So for my mind now, when it already don't go future, turn to medical doctor, I was now thinking that I should be able to help this man. That was how I opened the door. The man ran into our kitchen. A few minutes later, I started hearing noise. People were shouting and quarreling. All the boys for the area, they pursued him. I don't know, say the guy in a thief. He don't go thief. He jumped fence, enter our compound. But I was already thinking like a doctor. So I was thinking, how can I help? I opened door. Thief run, enter our kitchen. My papa and my mama come. They chase the guy outside. So at the end of the day, I don't even know where wrong go, how the thing ended. But the point is this, yes, after that one, they beat me well, as in they flog me, better flog. But the point is this, because my mind already went ahead of myself, thinking about how to succeed in this area, my compassion was already moving in that area as well to see how I can help people medically. So, what am I trying to say? The future of Worry Child, it is not necessarily tomorrow. It is where your mind is today. Where your mind is today. So if in your mind you are able to get there, your body will get there as well. Do you understand what I'm saying? Students, do you understand what I'm saying? Then at some point, it now became difficult for me to get into medical school. I kept on writing JAM, and JAM was jamming me, and I was jamming JAM, and we kept on jamming ourselves and all this kind of stuff. It was difficult to get to medical school. And I remember my sister was talking earlier, and she was talking about how we were together, and we actually did our A-levels together at that particular point in time. But I was trying to get into medical school. It was a bit difficult. People began to make fun of me. As in, it was so bad that even my parents at some point, they began to make fun as well. They said, don't forget about the medical thing. Forget about medical school. Just go and study something so that we're going to say you go university. Just go. Just go. Everybody tired for me. I say, no, I want to study medicine. At some point, I got admission, went to University of Lagos, and then I got admission to study radiography. First year and then second year. But through the whole process, something kept on happening in my mind. And that thing was this. I know where my mind goes, my body will follow. Where the mind goes, the man will follow. Where the mind goes, the man will follow. I kept on thinking like that. So at some point, after a long time, I finally got admission to go to medical school. And guess what? When it happened, I got admission to go to medical school abroad. I finally went to medical school. And I came back. When I graduated, I got home. When I got home, my dad was like, enter the car. And I was thinking, okay, fine, where are we? What's going on? Where are we going to? So I entered the car, and my dad started driving. And he drove like a few minutes, and he saw someone on the street, and he stopped. And while he stopped, he wound down the glass, and he asked the person, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Normal worry talk now. So after a while, he asked the person, he said, have you met my son? And they were like, no. My dad said, he's a medical doctor. And he kept on driving. And he drove a few minutes, saw another person. And said, oh, do you know this my son? He said, no, he's a medical doctor. He kept on driving. He drove and he got to another place. He said, do you know this my son? They said, no. He said, he's a medical doctor. And he kept on driving. The whole time, the reason why he asked me to enter the car was so that he can just drive around town and stop different people and tell them, have you met my son? He's a medical doctor. My point is this. If you give up in your mind, you will not be able to achieve your dreams. But if you do not give up, if at the back of your mind you keep on thinking, where the mind goes, the man will follow. As you're thinking that, you will get there. Did you hear what I said? Whatever ambitions you have as a student, as in this afternoon when they were just doing, I was just wondering in my head, I was like, I wish when I was a student in a secondary school, I had this same opportunity. But I did not have it. This is a
Federal government vows swift rescue of abducted Kebbi schoolgirls. Taraba political earthquake. Speaker, 15 lawmakers dump PDP for APC. Federal government targets 500 CNG stations in 3 years to slash petrol use. UN backs Trump's Gaza peace plan in landmark vote. Sesko sidelined. Man United striker out for 1 month. Now to the news in full. Nigeria's federal government has confirmed it is in security discussions with the United States following President Donald Trump's recent threat of possible military action over continued attacks on Christian communities by jihadist groups. Speaking in an interview in Abuja, Tuga noted that talks with Washington intensified after Trump revealed he had asked the Pentagon to explore potential military options in Nigeria. The U.S. president cited what he described as large-scale killings of Christians by radical Islamist groups, sparking renewed international interest in Nigeria's security landscape. The minister, however, stressed that Nigeria remains committed to sovereignty and partnership-based solutions, adding that expanded cooperation must align with national priorities and regional strategies. Foreign Affairs Minister Yusuf Tuga says both countries are reviewing areas of security collaboration, insisting the issues at stake affect global stability and not just Nigeria. The Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Edward, has paid a courtesy visit to President Bola Tinubu at the presidential villa in Abuja, as both countries continue to deepen diplomatic and economic relations. The visit comes on the heels of growing trade momentum between the United Kingdom and Nigeria. Recent figures from the UK-Nigeria Economic Growth Press Conference show bilateral trade now valued at £7.2 billion, with Nigeria ranked as the UK's second largest trading partner in Africa. British High Commissioner Richard Montgomery describes the partnership as vibrant, enduring, and multifaceted, noting that Nigeria remains the top African destination for UK exports. At the core of this expansion is the Enhanced Trade and Investment Partnership, ETIP, the UK's first and only bilateral trade and investment framework with an African nation. Signed in February 2024, the ETIP aligns with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's growth priorities and President Tinubu's 8-point economic agenda, both emphasizing job creation, economic reforms, and long-term investment. Prince Edward was accompanied by the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Sir Richard Montgomery, while Nigeria's Finance Minister Wale Edun was also in attendance during the meeting held inside Aso Rock. The federal government says it is leaving no stone unturned in efforts to rescue students abducted from Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School, MAGA, in Danko Wasago local government area of Kebbi State. The minister quoted President Bola Tinubu as reaffirming that the protection of Nigerians, especially school children, remains a top priority of his administration. The government condemned the attack and the killing of school officials, describing the incident as reprehensible and unacceptable. Idris said the FG is intensifying internal security reforms, recalibrating military and policing capabilities, and improving intelligence response to prevent further attacks. He added that Nigeria is strengthening regional partnerships through ECOWAS, the African Union, and the Multinational Joint Task Force to secure borders and dismantle terrorist networks. The federal government says it remains firmly committed to ensuring the abducted girls are rescued and reunited with their families as efforts continue on all fronts. In a statement, the Minister of Information and Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said security and intelligence agencies have been given clear orders to locate the girls, secure their safe return, and bring the attackers to justice. Taraba State has witnessed a major political shakeup as Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Right Honorable John Kizito Bonzina,
has defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress, leading 15 lawmakers along with him. The defectors include Deputy Speaker Haman Adama Abdullahi, Majority Leader Jethro Yakubu, and lawmakers Tafaki Eneme, Akila Nuhu, Musa Chul, Josiah Yaro, Tanko Yusuf, Veronica Al-Hassan, Anas Shraibu, Nelson Len, Umar Adamu, Joseph Kasong, John Lamba, Happy Shomruba, and Zakari Sanusi. Speaking on the development, Speaker Bonzina said the move became necessary due to lingering disunity and leadership crisis within the PDP at the national level. He described the switch to the APC as a new political dawn for Taraba and called on citizens to support the ruling party in driving development across the state. The mass defection gives the APC full dominance of the 24-member assembly, with key principal officers, including the Deputy Speaker and Majority Leader, dumping the PDP in what analysts describe as a decisive shift in the state's political alignment. You're watching our daily news roundup. We'll go for a short break. When we return, more news stories on the business front.
Every year, millions of lives are stolen, dreams cut short, futures traded in silence. Human trafficking is a modern-day slavery. It hides in plain sight, tearing families apart and trapping the vulnerable in fear. But together we can end it. Together we can protect, we can rescue, and we can give hope. Say no to exploitation. Say no to slavery. Say no to human trafficking. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
Welcome back. The federal government has unveiled plans to build 500 compressed natural gas refueling stations nationwide within the next 3 years, in a major push to reduce petrol dependence and strengthen Nigeria's shift to cleaner, cheaper fuels. In a statement released on Sunday, MDGIF Executive Director Oluwole Adama said the partnership would accelerate access to CNG across the country, supporting President Bola Tinubu's ongoing gas transition agenda. Officials say the initiative is a cornerstone of the presidential CNG initiative aimed at reducing reliance on petrol and diesel, especially after the removal of fuel subsidy. Senior Special Advisor to the President, Oluwatoyin Sube, added that the project aligns with the administration's goal of stabilizing transport costs and boosting energy security. Endurance Group CEO Eric Lin said the SPV will build a nationwide refueling, maintenance, and logistics ecosystem using strategically located mother stations to supply underserved northern routes and high-demand southern hubs. When completed, the 500-station network is expected to deepen access to gas-powered transportation, cut fuel import pressure, and enhance Nigeria's clean energy transition. The project follows the conclusion of talks between the Midstream and Downstream Gas Infrastructure Fund and Chinese manufacturer Endurance Group, which will now form a government-backed special-purpose vehicle with the Bank of Industry and Secure Investment partners to drive the rollout. Nigeria's headline inflation has slowed for the 7th consecutive month, dropping to 16.05% in October 2025 from 18.02% in September. According to the NBS report, year-on-year inflation fell sharply, standing 17.82%, lower than the rate recorded in October 2024, which was 33.88%. On a month-to-month measure, inflation rose slightly to 0.93%, up from 0.72% in September 2025. Food inflation also showed major improvement, averaging 13.12% year-on-year, a significant drop of 26.04 percentage points compared to October last year. The Bureau says the downward trend in annual food inflation is largely due to the updated base year for calculations. Fresh figures released by the National Bureau of Statistics show a 1.96% decline, with officials attributing the continued easing of inflation to improved market stability and a change in the base year. Away from the business front, now to the foreign scene. The United Nations Security Council has endorsed a United States-backed proposal by President Donald Trump for a new Gaza peace framework, a plan centered on deploying an international peacekeeping force and setting a pathway towards Palestinian statehood. Following the vote, Donald Trump celebrated the approval online, calling it a historic endorsement of its so-called Board of Peace, which he claims will help deliver global stability. U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Mike Watts, also welcomed the decision, saying the Security Council has taken a crucial step towards building a peaceful and prosperous Gaza while guaranteeing lasting security for Israel. The proposal outlines the deployment of a multinational peacekeeping mission, phased reconstruction, and political reforms that would pave the way for a future Palestinian state. The resolution, which passed with 13 votes in favor and 2 abstentions from Russia and China, has been described as one of the most decisive UN positions on Gaza in recent years. No member exercised veto power. Away from that, now to sports news. Manchester United have been dealt a fresh blow as striker Benjamin Sesko has been ruled out for at least 1 month following a knee injury sustained in the Premier League clash against Tottenham Hotspur. In the statement, the club said initial medical checks showed the striker picked up the injury late in the Spurs encounter, with further assessments now underway. Sesko, who joined Manchester United from RB Leipzig in an £85 million deal, has quickly become an important figure in Erik ten Hag's front line. The manager and fans will be monitoring his progress closely, with more updates expected in the coming days as the team prepares for crucial fixtures without him. For now, United will have to adjust the attacking options as Sesko begins his road to recovery. Reports confirmed the development on Monday, reporting that the Slovenian forward will undergo rest and rehabilitation before returning to full fitness, a setback United hope will not derail the attacking momentum this season. A major boxing spectacle is on the horizon as former heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua is now confirmed to face YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul in a professional bout scheduled for Miami. The upcoming clash is set for 8 rounds of 3 minutes, officially replacing Paul's cancelled exhibition fight with lightweight star Gervonta Davis. Promoters say the fight is expected to draw massive global attention as Joshua seeks a comeback moment, while Paul continues his controversial rise in the professional boxing ranks. Fans worldwide are already reacting sharply, with analysts calling it one of the most unexpected yet commercially explosive matchups of the year. Both fighters are expected to begin full training camp in the coming weeks, with ticket sales and broadcast details to be announced soon. The announcement comes months after Paul shocked the world with his victory over heavyweight legend Mike Tyson in Texas back in November 2024. Joshua, meanwhile, has not fought since his September 2024 IBF title loss to Daniel Dubious at Wembley. And with that sports news, we come to the end of our daily news roundup for today, right here on Atlantic TV. Do also follow us on all our social media platforms for more news stories and headline updates. Thank you so much for watching. I am Nkechi Tejere. Have a good day.
Behind closed doors, too many suffer in silence. Too many lives are scarred by violence. In the very place that should bring peace, the home. Domestic violence is not love, it is pain. It breaks trust, destroys lives and families, and steals futures. Domestic violence is not a private matter. It's a violation of dignity, and it must end. Because hitting a woman does not make you a man, but correcting her in love and staying in peace with her is God's plan. Together, we can raise our voices, protect the vulnerable, and rebuild lives. Say no to silence. Say no to fear. Say no to domestic violence. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
I am SP Dafe Bright and this is Delta State Police Command. Today we'll be treating and addressing an issue that's different from what we've been doing before, not parading suspect this time, but bringing to you a very important information. Do we know that over 85% of Nigerians do password their phones, whether it's Android phones or iPhones? There's always a password. But how come when we lose our phones, by the time we go to retrieve our lines, we go to our bank to check our bank statement, we discover that these people who collected these phones must have siphoned the phones. Now, there are times the people who steal these phones, it is not your phone that they actually need. What they need is your SIM card. Now, how does the SIM card become useful to them? Not just any SIM card, but a SIM card that is linked to your bank account, the one that you usually use to receive SMS alerts. That is what they need. Now, by the time they collect your phone, steal your phone, rob you of your phone, what they do is that they remove this SIM card from your phone and insert it on another phone. So your phone does not really need to power on. They don't even need you to give them your phone password. They don't even need your ATM password. The moment they have access to your SIM card, they can do anything they want to do with your bank account, because all they need is to generate an OTP, and the message, the OTP that is called one-time password, will be sent to that your SIM card, and with that they can do anything they want to do with your account. That is why people lose millions of their life savings simply because they lost their phone. By the side of this video, we'll be doing an illustration. You will see an illustration that talks on how you can password your SIM card. Now, the topic that we are here to discuss, passwording of SIM card. When you get a phone, pick that your phone now. See how you can password your SIM card. If you password your SIM card, by the time for any reason, your phone gets to the wrong hand, even if they remove your SIM card and insert on another phone, the first thing that you will get is a prompt that you should enter your SIM PIN. The moment they cannot get the SIM PIN, they cannot use your SIM card for anything. After the trial of 3, the POC prompt will come because the SIM card will be blocked, and you can only unblock that SIM card when you have the POC number. Some of us don't have our SIM pack because on the SIM pack it is written there the SIM PIN and the POC number. But because some of us don't have our SIM pack, I would advise you to quickly locate the nearest office of your service provider, be it Airtel, Globalcom or MTN. Approach them and request for your POC number. Once you've gotten your POC number, you follow these instructions and ensure that you password your SIM PIN. Your SIM PIN is very, very important. On my phone, for instance, once you turn off the phone and you turn it back on, you must enter your SIM PIN. If you cannot enter your SIM PIN, the SIM card will be useless. And I'm telling you, once they cannot have access to your SIM card, your money will be safely in the bank. They cannot have access to. There was a time I lost my phone, and it took me about 2 weeks to go to MTN office to retrieve my SIM card. Why did I wait 2 weeks? Because I knew I had a SIM PIN. I knew they would not have access to my bank account. I knew they cannot even use my SIM card for anything. Some of these people, when they steal phone, we'll be hoping that, we'll track the phone. Some of them don't even sell the phone. They will just condemn the phone and just get the SIM card to see if they can have your money. Please, they say a word is enough for the wise. It is very, very important. Don't see this video and just pass it by. Watch this video to the end. We're almost approaching the end of the video. Ensure that you take the lesson. Please password your SIM card. They say
Welcome back. If you are just joining, it's Trending O'Clock. You know how we do it right here on Trending. We talk about all the trending gist on the internet and, of course, give our opinions about them. I am Mercy Irabo, and you know, once it's trending, I can never be alone in the studio. Who is joining us today? The beautiful, gorgeous NK.
Hi, Mercy.
Hi, NK. It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's so good to be back.
Thank you for joining me
there's
today.
so much going on, and I said, you know what? Today, let's do this.
I've been having just, and I'll just be like,
I can
if
imagine.
only I can have NK.
I
here.
can imagine. I was super excited when it was time for trending. So
Yes,
let's do
and
this.
today's gist. Let's dive straight
It's
into
off
it.
the hook.
So our top story for today is some drama from 30,000 feet. I know you might be wondering, what's going on? Yes, we saw some altercation happening yesterday on United Nigerian airline flights from Asaba to Lagos. Before takeoff, we saw a very dark man, also known as Martins Ose, and Mr. Jollof, and they're both social media influencers, in case you don't know them. And we saw them in a heated argument yesterday that quickly escalated into fist punching and all of that going on. But let's see the footage.
Come back for that for flag. Go slap you for that. One life. Is it media? We're gonna Give them wine. Give them wine. Give them. Give them. Give them. No. Give them. Please, see. Yeah, man, I hold that guy. I'll tell you what he said. I don't understand you.
Well, we saw the flight crew and passengers trying to intervene even while they were overpowered, yeah, because we saw all of that going on. And they were removed from the flight before takeoff, and I think that serves as warning. You can't just go to the flight and start fighting. Imagine endangering the lives of people. I saw one white man trying to
avoid the
all of those punches and everything.
And then I heard the cry of a baby as well.
Yes,
you know, that's some scare.
Exactly. So they had to remove them from that very flight. But social media, you know, when they see things like this, social media is always on fire. And trust me,
we cannot
I
be
will
quiet.
never miss that. I have to bring some of the reactions. Let's see some reactions we got on net. VDM just big, him no get strength.
Were you there?
Okay. Now, why I know they like fights with this person go just they hold you anyhow. Who were they holding? I don't know. These two don't they find themselves sins, but from the look of things, now VDM win. Anyways, new week, new drama. What a drama to start off the week. This is why VDM goes to the gym. Shameless to bully his fellow man or what? Can't even comport yourself in an aircraft. This is what happens when you make stupid people famous. Well, they were just fighting. It was just fighting of two people. Please, who won the fight? Oh, okay. This is not supposed to be WWE. I saw the blow and headbutt from Jollof. I don't want anyone to say VDM won. The entertainment was worth it. Imagine fighting inside an air-piece craft. Well, it wasn't air-piece. I know that. Let's see for some more reactions. Nobody fits handle VDM for this internet space now. All current celebrities and big is no reach. We are expecting someone bigger. Otherwise, this man's reign go take. Good luck on your conquest. Okay, Very Dark Man and Mr. Jollof fights on a plane is completely unacceptable. Celebrities, though humans and infallible, should endeavor to be role models. Such behavior is reckless, unsafe, and sets a terrible example for fans everywhere. Yeah, imagine social media influencers having all of that going on. This week goes sweet, yes, interesting week. Imagine something to start off the week.
Starting with a fight.
VDM and Pride, how dare you say to a man far older than you, I go slap you. Okay, are you sure this fight is not a distraction? So that Nigerians can move on from Wike and the naval officer.
Oh my goodness.
Meanwhile, I didn't enjoy the fight. I am expecting videos from different angles, you know, Nigerians. I beg, where my popcorn? Yeah, we need to grab popcorn because it seems this week we're going to have more dramas. VDM wants Q's life comes from Mr. Jollof body. Okay, now why I use my house friends buy data with these. My brother, you will sleep outside. Interesting comment to got on net. This is exactly the kind of rascality Mr. Obi has been talking about. Where in the world do people start fighting in a boarded aircraft? Those grown men are behaving like children, and they should be made to face the law. Okay, I think that's all of the reactions we got. Interesting
we see all of
reactions
this just in movies, though.
Yeah, we'll see all of these things happening in movies. Wow, it's interesting. Imagine these two people. Well, the truth is, I like being sincere. I really do not expect that from Very Dark Man because it's just like you are being the same thing you're trying to fight against. I saw some old videos of him trying to talk to passengers in flights, telling them to respect the flight attendants and all of that. And now you are the one going against the flight policies. So it tells a lot.
You know, there's so much that happens when you're angry.
Yeah.
You know, and then anger triggers a lot of things. So I believe VDM triggered this whole thing from what we have seen. Yeah. I don't know who started the blows and the biting and the you know, but then there were a lot of triggers.
Okay, I actually heard biting. Do men use teeth to fight?
We have seen it now.
Oh,
I mean, didn't you see
Jolloff's teeth
marks on VDM's chest?
I did.
I mean, if that teeth can bite a lion,
are they dogs?
I mean, whatever defense mechanism you can deploy, please go ahead and deploy it. Because I watched Jolloff's video
Yeah.
after the whole fight, where he was trying to clarify what happened and defend. He said he was just trying to defend himself, giving an account of what happened and how it transpired. But then again, it's very embarrassing to see two grown men, going about this way in an aircraft that's already boarded. They were midway takeoff, before they had to, stop and onboard them from the plane. But then it's so embarrassing to see, and it further portrays Nigeria in a bad light, because I mean the whole world has seen this. Just imagine, Trump is on the one end castigating the Nigerian government for the killing of Christians, and then Nigerians all over the world, we hear of cases of fraud, murder, and all whatnot going around from Nigerians. And then this is another case study. So, I mean, so much is being said about Nigeria, and we are the ones even fueling whatever bad name that has been given to us. But then I strongly condemn that fight. I mean, that could have waited till they landed. They for just wait. If they not say they want tear body, they for just wait when they land. Make the fight really happen well.
And this thing is like a prolonged beef, because
exactly, it's a prolonged beef, because
videos and all of that of threats from Jollof
because
to VDM, from VDM
Jollof
to Jollof.
and VDM, they have been at loggerheads ever since VDM. I think VDM made some allegations allegedly against Jolloff's wife, of which he said the case is still in court, and since then they have not seen eye to eye. So this is like the first time in a long while that they have seen. So, it was a good time to really face each other. But then the way they went about it, I do not support violence in any way. So that was a very chaotic scene. I mean, you could see the scare in the faces of passengers. That was a very, I mean, that's portrayed a lot of danger to people. If I were to be in that flight, I would just come down, because I mean, who would have thought that would happen, and what the consequences could have been. But then again, I just hope they will have learned their lesson, because I mean they were taken to the I think the police authorities right there at the airport. I don't know what transpired after that, but then again, I just hope they have learned their lessons. That's not a good example.
Because since all of these videos have been flying about, this is the first time they are seeing, and we are getting this. So I hope we don't get more fights. So just imagine that we don't get to hear more after now. It's really, really disheartening and really, really appalling to see. I feel he should do better. I really do not know Jollof.
I mean, for people who are like role models, people who have people following them, this is not a good example. This is not how you should lead people. I think we should try to live by example. If we are saying VDM has always been on the course of trying to speak up for the people, and trying to help the people and all of that stuff, but then this is no way it's not in any way a good show of the kind of person you're trying to show yourself as.
This is not what the Rattel movement is about. To think that he talked about the Rattel movement a few months back, saying they want to go out to community service and all of that, and that is what the Rattel is about. But now we're seeing this. Is this what the Rattel is about? This is the
real Victor O'Shea.
Is this what the Rattel is about? Well, I just hope they resolve all of this whole thing, because these two persons, people are looking up to them, and then coming out to have public display of this is totally a no from me. So I think they should sort it out.
Jollof has come out to give his own account of the incident. I think we need to hear from VDM to know his own side of the story.
Well,
and
that's
then we
why
can
I'm sure he will give us his own side of the story today, and trust me to bring them to you as soon as they drop. So away from that, we saw this very tragic news from the US. A 27-year-old Nigerian man, Chukwuebuka Eweni, has been arrested in the US after allegedly stabbing his father to death and injuring his two sisters in a home on Pebble Street. According to police reports, the attack occurred inside the family home. Authorities quickly responded, taking Eweni into custody, while the two sisters received medical attention for their injuries. And this is a heartbreaking reminder that domestic violence can strike anywhere, even in the most ordinary homes. Mental health, family tensions, and conflict resolutions are issues we cannot ignore, both here and in our communities abroad. So I learned that this guy has been having some mental challenges and all of that, but they kept on ignoring because they felt like, okay, he was not destructive. And on that very day, he just took knife and then stabbed his father, stabbed his two sisters.
Were there like an
and all of that.
altercation?
No, it was a mental breakdown.
Oh, no.
So that's to tell us that mental health is very, very important. Well, he has been arrested and investigations are still ongoing. So we'll see if we get more updates concerning that. But one thing I know is take your mental health seriously. Yes, because mental breakdown, mental challenges. Because meanwhile, this guy looks very calm and innocent. You would think he can't do such. But that's to tell you that mental breakdown is very real, and we really need to put our mental health under serious check. Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought? Probably he was going through some depressed moments or something. But then again, I'm not trying to make excuses for him. You know, this is just some of the things I was trying to say about Nigerians doing the most, you know, in other countries.
Yeah.
But then again, who would have thought that this kind of thing would happen, from knowing that, you know, there was no form of altercation or fight or anything. But then again, like she said, take your mental health seriously. If you feel some type of way, go and get checked. If you feel some type of way, if you need to talk to people, talk to people. If you need to speak up, speak up. I mean, don't keep things to yourself, because the more you keep things to yourself, the more you're hurting yourself. And one day you just wake up and see yourself doing something that you never thought you could do.
Exactly.
You know, because you had gotten to that point where you can no longer control your emotions, which is very, very difficult for you. So please, whenever you find yourself in a situation where you feel like you are mentally breaking down, just speak to someone. Speak to someone.
That's one way to just get through all of these things. Speak to someone. See a therapist. We have therapists everywhere. You can always get them. We even have free therapists online and all of that you can just talk to if you don't want to talk to maybe anybody. Because I used to hear some saying that a word shared, or how do they say it, is supposed to be a problem shared
is half
solved. But now people say a problem shared is a problem for gossip. So people do not really want to talk to persons, because most times you tell people something and then you hear it outside. So I feel go see a therapist if you know you're having challenges and all of that. Try see a therapist. So our heart goes out to the family of the victims.
I hope the girls survive.
I hope they really survive. They're still undergoing treatment in hospital. I hope they survive. Well, this is a developing story. As you know, investigations are still ongoing, and once we get more updates, we'll definitely bring them to you. Away from that, yes, social media influencer Zik Aloma is sparking conversation with his take on marriage and finances. He says a man without a reliable and stable source of income has no business getting married. Let's see the footage.
And without a stable or a reliable source of income has no business getting married. Yes. You know, we are in a society where if you get to a certain age, I can remember my mom singing, calling me on my birthday. My birthday was last week. I turned 34. She now sang happy birthday to you. She now said, when will you get married? How did she even sing itself? I was like, Mommy, I'll let you know. It's funny that I'm quite stable financially, but I still feel I'm not financially secured enough to get married, because there's the kind of life I want to give myself and my children. Do you understand? And my wife, right? Then I have friends. There's only this particular guy. He's always asking me, Ziggs, I never chop since money. Hunger won't buy me. Before you know, amidst of this whole begging, I'm always sending this guy small money. You are sending me a wedding invite. I was not like, you don't get government contract, I mean, you don't get government work. He said, no, nothing. Say, marriage, they bring blessing. I say, hey, they should not brainwash you. Nobody should pressure you. He said, no, him and wife go do family planning. Before I feel say Jack Rob missing, tell me say wife don't get belly. Before you know it, he don't born picking. And guess what? When the wife gave birth, I helped him for the delivery fee. In picking, small time told me saying picking on the sick. He was disturbed. I had to block him, literally.
Well, this topic has stirred up the debate online. Is financial stability a major requirement in settling down? Well, netizens do find that funny. Some persons are with him saying, yes, you need to have money. While some are saying, no, children, wife bring blessings. Let's see some reactions we got on net. Marriage has no direct correlation with your financial status. Some people become rich after marriage, others after having children. It's all destiny. Don't wait until you're extremely rich. You may just be wasting time. Get married and you might be surprised by the positive changes that follow. Okay, you're not confident enough, my guy. Getting married has no business with having all the money in the world. Learn that there's no manual to this thing called life, and time waits for no one. I would rather use my youth to train all my kids now than fully retire at 60 than wait till 40 to get married, then still be paying school fees at 60, all because I was waiting for the right time. Okay, he made sense up to the point where he said, me, Seth, I don't think I am financially stable enough to get married. Zeke that spent over $10,000 for cosmetic surgery. If this is also your mentality, you'll find out at some point in your life that you were wasting time for no reason. Please, please come and give me back all the money I used to stream your videos. Kit makers and motivation or advice should not be in same sentence. You won't be saying now we gotta give you the money where you get now. You blow finish, they uphold one standard. Logically, there's no amount of money that is enough for marriage. You just need a partner with a hustling mindset, not liability. And now I am asking, is it right to go to marriage with this mindset of wives bring blessings and children also bring blessings? So you don't have anything in mind, you don't have any money, you know, knowing the fact that in this country, let's not even go far, in this country, to get diapers, to get baby food and all of that, and then you're waiting for blessings from above that comes with having kids. So what if this kid comes and the money does not follow? How is this kid supposed to survive?
They whine me. See, when I was just reading some comments, I was just laughing inside me. I'm like, they say, who not go? No. See, now there are two things involved here from my own understanding. It is good because before you get married, you must be ready in many things. You must be emotionally ready. You must be spiritually ready. You must be financially ready. You must be mentally ready. You must be ready in so many things. So people say, yeah, you marry first, money, baby, I be children, I be wife, will bring blessing. Okay, thank God. But then again, having a stable income and waiting to get all the money in the world, they are two different things. If you have a stable income and you know that your salary at the end of the month can take care of you and another person or other people, then you are ready. Because you will not get married today and go and stay in your father's house. You would pay rent. You will have a house where you will pay rent, Abby. Or if you have enough money, you build your own house. Then you have a job that you're going to get steady income. Because you will not carry a woman to your house to come and suffer. Nobody wants to suffer, my dear. So to a point, no, we are not reasoning with anybody. Nobody come this life, come suffer. So at some point, it was making sense, you know. But then people are trying to misconstrue what he said, saying that you must not be all rich. It's not about being rich.
Okay, I think he was right according to one comment to the extent when he said,
well, people with different
I am
standards.
not
People with different
stable,
standards.
Yes.
Some person will tell you, and you think I have. If I don't have so and so, if I don't have this and this and that, I consider myself not being ready. That's his standard. Some persons will say, oh, I have a job that's paying me 500,000 monthly. I'm ready to marry. I can go ahead and get married. That's their standard, right? So, I mean, it should be a constant, you know, arrangement. You have a partner that understands your income flow and knows what you do, and you know that it's a steady something that can consistently give you money. Then you're okay. I mean, who wants to get to 60 before he gets married? You don't want to do that. So that you start getting taking care of your children when you're still young.
Like one comment we saw that said, no manual to this thing. Of course, there's no manual to this thing.
Exactly.
But I feel
people with different
to some
standards
extent have money.
Have
Be
money.
stable to some extent before you decide to settle down. Don't just believe that one money will just fall from heaven like manna from above.
Exactly.
It won't fall.
It will not happen, my dear.
You can have children and you'll still be begging, just like, because he's talking from experience. That one of his friends got married and all of that, knowing the fact that he's been the one sponsoring this guy. And at the end of the day, you're married. The person you're begging for money is not married.
I know sometimes people prepare more for the wedding than the actual marriage. You spend millions to do party occasion, and then the real marriage, you're now entering inside and then you don't have money. So, I mean, it doesn't make
That's the thing.
sense.
So, I feel to some extent, just be stable.
Just be stable.
When you see advices like this, pick the one you feel work for you.
Exactly.
Leave the others. You don't go
Exactly.
about talking about you need to
What
wait
works
for
for you
blessings. Yes,
cannot
take
work
what
for-
works for you.
for
There's
another
no
person.
manual to this thing. In as much as I want to talk about this topic, I know
Huh.
NK wants to
I
talk
can't
about
sleep on this topic. I can't sleep on it
She
because
wants
I
to
don't
talk
go.
about
I
it,
know.
but time is really not a friend of mine. We really
I
need
know,
to
as
go.
always.
It's been an amazing time. Thank you so much, NK,
Always a
for
pleasure.
always being available for trending. I've had amazing time all the way from the dailies to the dialogue, the news, and now the trending. It's been super amazing. And of course, you can drop all your thoughts in the comment section of all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Well, this is where I have to tell you that I will see you for another super exciting edition, same time tomorrow. I remain Mercy Erabol. Do have a nice day.